Hello and welcome to my channel. Today I am sharing with you a Renaissance romance journal that I have created for a special new friend from our Facebook group in Bohodaydreams, and her name is Deborah. This was a custom order by request, and I am very pleased with how this project turned out, and I'm sure she's just going to love it. The cover is a piece of brocade, almost velvet-like tapestry-looking piece. It's actually an upholstery remnant or sample piece that I got. It's tied with vintage lace. Got some velvet trim on the bottom here, braided trim on the top. It's a 2 1/4 inch spine, I believe, with vintage metal buttons sewn into the spine. And the back I left just plain because I love the design of the fabric that was used. The removable tassel has a cross pendant in it, which she can take off and use somewhere else if she would like. And just a beautiful swingy tassel. So let's open the journal and go inside. It's got 2 signatures, and I used, I think, about 4 different digital kits from various artists, which I will list below in the description. And here it is. I've used some beautiful gold, elaborate applique trim, fabric cover inside over Craftex, and just a nice linen taupey color. This is a giant journaling card of Henry VIII, backed onto some granite paper and stenciled. Here's our first signature with the title, Renaissance Romance. And a tag made out of book page. One of the images, I believe these are all from Mrs. Cog's kit, and stamped on the back. Got some ledger paper there, and a little booklet, some stenciling, some stamping for extra writing space here. Flip out to the side. And lots of elaborate, very colorful jewel tone colors in the digital images. Some vintage lace here with a pocket, and just a journaling card that I've made and stamped on the back. This is the Tim Holtz mixed media die set. And I did the ruffles differently in this journal. Something I haven't done before is I sewed them to a little further inside each page so that they wouldn't hang over the edge as much, because I wanted the focus to be on all these tabs and the jewels hanging from the tabs. So we've got some Shakespeare book page in here, and a tab with some silk and some braided trim and a bead dangle. I made all the bead dangles myself. This particular silk fabric I used is a bit of a leftover from the brooch bouquet that I made my daughter for her wedding. Here we've got another pocket with a cutout from the Tim Holtz mixed media set, some vintage lace, and stenciling. The journaling cards, I just used a die, turned it on its side, and just went with the, I don't know if you call it Gothic shape, but I went with the architecture of the time that I felt was appropriate. Stamped on the back, and then used one of the images from the kit. Some space for journaling. Beautiful gold trim. And a tag journaling card with book page and one of the images backed onto the granite paper and stamped on the back. Some stenciling. Love this royal blue applique trim. It's very silky and soft. And I really like this photo. This is Henry VIII and Jane Seymour in the garden. So beautiful. That's backed onto some music paper, scrapbook paper. And I have cut up an old scarf, vintage scarf, and use that as the tag topper. Some tea-dyed tracing paper. Beautiful image. I tried to go with a lot of the swirls and acanthus leaf that I saw on the backgrounds of a lot of the pages, and tried to use those in the stamps and stenciling. Some vintage lace as a belly band and an applique here. I love this picture, Elizabeth of York. Got some book page on the back and granite paper and stamped in the back. A little envelope that I made from some leftover paper from the kit, and a planner page that I've tea-dyed and just stamped and made it pretty and feminine. There's some extra journaling space. The colors in this page on the right hand side I really love. The purple and the teal together just looks so rich. This is some of Sheila's velvet trim here, and a purple bead dangle. Some stamping and stenciling. Some more vintage lace. This came from a vintage curtain panel that I bought, and I've been cutting it down. It's been a very useful piece of fabric that I got. Another journaling card backed onto book paper, book page, digital image, and the granite paper on the back stamped. Here is a little envelope with some tea-dyed index card and stamping on it. Just says note. And another ruffle sewn onto the side here with a feather over top of it. Hopefully she likes feathers. And this is it could be a belly band. You could put something either way, tuck it either way. This stamping technique is called resist stamping, where you stamp it first, heat dry it, and then you apply the ink pad direct to the shiny card paper and smear it all over. And I just used several different colors to get the right blend that I liked with my acanthus leaf stamp, and thought it blended really well with the purple. Love this image, so pretty. Some vintage lace as a tab, and this is some modern lace in a deep royal blue, indigo blue. Some stamping, some stenciling. I think there's about 120 page sides total. Here's some beautiful trim, and this is a journaling card with a belly band on it. And because the back side was not really what I would deem as Renaissance, I just covered it up with a little flip up for extra journaling space. And just attached a little bit of an applique to the front side of that. Thought it blended nicely with the green on this side of the page. And here I have punched the I guess lace edge all the way through, goes to the other side of the signature, and threaded some gold, a ribbon through it with a little bead on the end of it. And we've got a window here with vellum and a die cut and just a small tag. She can put anything else in there that she'd like. Of course, the beautiful thing with ephemera is you can move it around. There's no right or wrong place for anything. Here we've got a vintage lace pocket, and I've attached some vintage lace atop there, and as well another piece of applique. Another lovely photograph on some Italian paper that I have with beautiful gold painting on it. Parchment paper on the back, and with each of my journals I try to include a vintage or antique postcard. This color I thought really went with the style of the journal, and it's dated 1907, so that's over 100 years old. Here I've stamped onto the Shakespeare book page that I've used. We've got the center of the first signature and some very, not really elaborate, but beautiful, deep jewel-colored beads and fleur-de-lis and a little flower charm on them. These two journaling cards, journaling tags, stamped on the back of the, I guess it's grid paper. And the pockets are made out of vintage music sheet. I've stamped and embossed in gold ink and used vintage lace for the trim and some stenciling. The other side of the book page, Shakespeare. This pocket is made out of Irish lace. It's beautiful. It's a lot crisper, so you can really tell it apart from the other laces. Just some journaling cards that I've made, different shapes for extra writing with some digitals from the kits. Stenciling. This side is the same as the other side. It's got the gold ribbon and a bead dangle here. And then this die cut, I put a window that I made out of clear cardstock or acrylic, whatever you want to call it, acetate paper, and stamped with a black StazOn ink. So it looks like an actual elaborate window pane and the cute little doors on it. So I thought that was kind of unique. Some stenciling on this side of the page. Some lovely braided trim and a tall tag with some border edge punching on the bottom. And stenciling, lots of stenciling. Acanthus leaf stamp there, stenciling. This could be a side tuck. And then we've got, this is actually a specialty paper like mulberry paper or whatever that I put some braided trim over top to make the tab and a bead dangle. Some vellum paper. And this I custom made and created for this journal. I'm calling it a corset pocket. So it's actually a double pocket. In the back, we've got this lovely image. It's done on watercolor paper. I bought it as is, but I just changed out the lace to correspond with the rest of the journal. I love these colors, the taupe and the gold. So this part here can be undone and she can tuck something in the front pocket as well as in the back, but I just chose to put something in the back for her so she can have fun with that. Those were done with some old, they're discontinued now, Heartfelt Creations dies that I have from a long time ago. Another lace side tuck here with some stenciling. And this is a pocket from one of the kits. Same with the envelope and the journaling card here. Just got some stamping inside. And a fabric tab with some braided trim and a bead dangle. Love this peacock, and I felt that this vintage or antique lace piece coordinated so perfectly with it. Love the colors in it. It's very unique, just so beautiful. And then I used gold vellum for the pocket underneath and some stenciling on the back. This journaling card has book page and the image on the front, as well as the granite paper and stamping on the back. Some more tea-dyed tracing paper. Here's an just a journaling card that I've got made from dry embossing using an embosser. And this is just a small journaling card with some gilding polish, gold gilding polish on it. And this side we've got a braided trim in purple, burgundy purple plummy color. That is a belly band, and we've got a tag with some stamping and a little envelope, matching envelope on this side. And the pocket on the right is made from a vintage napkin that I've cut So you could do, I could get 4 pockets out of this particular napkin, fold it in half, and then just stitch it around and attach it to the page. Stitch it right onto the page, I think. Yes, I did. Journaling card with some more of that Italian paper and the granite paper on the back with some stamping and stenciling. And she can also hang little dangles of her own if she would like on the paper clips that are on the edges of the pages. Here I've got a fold over or journaling card that just straddles the whole page. I just used one piece, folded it in half, and did a die cut over top just to create a little extra space for journaling. And we've got some stenciling on this page as well. More Shakespeare book page. Another lovely silk ruffle. And beautiful vintage lace pocket. Very sheer and transparent. I love this image. It's so unique. It's beautiful. Yeah, lots of extra journaling space there. This is the last page in the first signature. We've got a pocket here with a journaling card that's made out of book page and some gold embossed stamping right there, granite paper on the back, ledger paper, a gold die cut on the top, and just a little tiny pamphlet with all the wives of Henry VIII. And a little envelope on this side, again with a little journaling card. This one says, "Your story matters." And she can tuck something else in there if she would like to. And on to the second signature. So we've got the ledger paper underneath here. And this signature focuses more on the wives themselves. And I've used the label, The House of Tudor. These images are from Mrs. CogsCrafts. Show this one first. It's Henry VIII and one of his wives, backed onto granite paper and stamped with a fleur-de-lis. And here is a castle digital image on the front of this journaling booklet, and a beautiful girl of Renaissance days. Some stamping, some stenciling, another vintage lace pocket with a long tag, and some punching on the bottom. This is another beautiful image from one of the kits. And we've got some gold and taupe braided trim here with a journaling card, some made out of book page, and a couple of the images, stamping on the back. Actually, it's upside down. There we go. So I used the architecture of the time for the shape of a lot of the design in this book. A nice piece of vintage lace as the tab here with a bead dangle. Some of the indigo blue lace trim that can also be a tuck spot. Stenciling, stamping of a cathedral gate. Some Shakespeare book page. Some more silk, sari silk trim ruffle and stenciling. I love this image of this thistle. This is some bright green silk here with braided trim and a purple bead dangle. And the tabs are all sewn right onto the page. Here's a pocket or a side tuck with a tag backed onto granite paper and stamped on the back. Some more tea-dyed tracing paper. Beautiful image. This vintage handkerchief I made into a pocket and added the vintage lace trim on the top. There's a picture of Henry VIII's first wife, Catherine of Aragon, backed onto granite paper and stamped, and another envelope that I've made out of the book or the digital pages with an image from the kit, some music paper, vintage music paper, book page, and backed onto the granite paper and stamped. Some more of this beautiful royal blue appliqué lace trim and a journaling card. Love that royal blue. I thought it complemented both the image here, the digital image, and these flowers on this side. Some vellum paper, and a vintage lace pocket with a vintage lace applique, a journaling card stamped on the back, and another envelope with a journaling card inside. I see that my battery's running low, so I'm going to have to hurry up here. Some green lace trim as a pocket, and a picture of Anne Boleyn, his second wife. Shakespeare sonnet book page here, and another one of these resist stamping tags that I made with a lovely die cut, intricate die cut. Some more of the gold lace, another journaling card with a picture of Jane Seymour, and the embossing on a journaling card on this side. Another tab made out of the beautiful silk and velvet here with a bead dangle. This is gold embossing and stamping on that side, and stenciling, and the journaling cards in the center of the second signature, same beads. This one has a cross on it and a pretty blingy piece, charm. Anne of Cleves, his fourth wife, and Catherine Howard, his fifth wife. Stenciling, stamping, inking, embossing, vintage lace. Here's a flip up with some gold embossing powder on the edges. Two journaling cards with some stamping on the back. Different sizes of paper I printed out so that there'd be variety in the style of the journal, and a long tag with the paper edging using a paper punch, and another one of these tags, and the ribbon with the gold bead, and a stamped image of a door, some beautiful braided trim, vintage lace, and more braided trim with the bronze gold bead there. And on this side we have a vintage lace pocket with a cross pendant dangle there, and Catherine Parr, his sixth wife. Gold embossing on the back of that journaling card. And some more indigo blue lace trim, can be used as a side tuck. Here is another little window. This one I just backed with regular scrapbook paper inside. You know, you can use it as a tuck this way or whatever. And I did the frontage, I'm just gonna tuck it in for there for right now. The frontage embossing powder there. Another vintage lace pocket with an image of Princess Elizabeth, a future queen, on the Italian paper and stenciled. Tracing paper, another architecturally shaped arch window that I've used as a tuck with a small journaling card, and some beautiful burgundy lace as a side tuck. Shakespeare book page, another ruffle, silk ruffle, one more window with the vellum inside it, and a tag that I have topped with vintage lace scarf, a bead dangle, and the vintage lace tab there. Some beautiful vintage lace as a pocket, and a journaling card the same as in the beginning of the journal. And the last page features a little booklet she can use for extra journaling space with images of 6 wives. And the pocket clips out, and I've got my logo there, Vintage Elegance Inspiration, with another envelope and a journaling index card inside, tea-dyed. And then the back cover has the same applique lace as the front, with a couple of large journaling cards This is Henry VIII and his wife Jane Seymour and son Prince Edward. This is actually a booklet that she can use for extra journaling space, and a journaling card with some gold embossing on it. And that is my journal called Renaissance Romance. That is going to a lovely lady, and I know she's going to enjoy it. I also made her a little pouch and put some of the leftover images in it that she can use to make herself another journal or add to the book, whatever she sees fit. So I thank you for watching, and I hope you've enjoyed it and will join me for my next journal. Thank you and have a great day.